A concept in class that we discussed that piqued my interest was the concept of the Dark Triad that holds three parts: Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and narcissism. First, I want to talk about Machiavellianism, the idea that a person can use any means necessary to gain individual power or benefit to themselves. The perfect Machiavellianist character I would like to display is Light Yagami from the anime Death Note. In this anime, Light is a schoolboy who has recently stumbled on the ability to kill people by writing their names in this notebook. Now, through the series, Light starts off as a kind of unsung hero. He kills people, but out of the need for good to protect. As the series goes on, Light becomes more obsessive with power. He gets more aggressive in how he kills people, and to avoid being caught by the character known as L, Light starts killing innocent people, people on the police force, even manipulating his own father into using the Death Note to his own will and game. To the point where Light even has a girlfriend, supposed girlfriend, who she uses the Death Note as well, so that Light can evade escape, erasing his own memories at times just so that characters won't catch him. Light is a perfect Machiavellianist character because he does all these aspects and kills whoever he has to get to his own goals. Eventually, the character does die, but even in his own death, the reason he died is because he was misinformed about the character who he manipulated to get to his own sacrifice. The next idea I want to discuss is psychopathy, the idea that a person genetically is born without sympathy and emotions towards others and things that happen on in real life. The character known as Joffrey Baratheon in the popular hit show Game of Thrones is a character who was given the title of King of the Iron Throne. And in his run as king, he was a very psychopathic character who was born with no sympathy towards others and was very emotionless in his decisions. A big part of his character was his hate towards his uncle Tyrion, who was better known as an imp, really and truly. At Joffrey's wedding, Tyrion was ordered by Joffrey to go ride on a pig and be a show horse, right? Joffrey, in his act, pours wine on his uncle and treats him like trash. Even when Joffrey is in the company of women, he kills them, shoots them with a bow and arrow out of his own desire to see them tortured, to see them suffer because of his own little head. Now, Joffrey isn't the perfect psychopath, as he does feel some type of emotions, just not towards others, mainly towards his mother and his other uncle, Jamie, who really is his father. Joffrey's the product of incest, and it seems that in his whole character arc, the only people he can show any type of true emotions to is towards his family, but not towards other people who aren't his family. And that's present throughout the entire show for as long as he's alive. The last idea I want to talk about is narcissism. The idea that you're this perfect being that no matter what anybody else does, it doesn't matter if it's more towards you. Narcissism is the idea of being perfect, being overconfident, being the most successful, believing that you're the best, and not really having empathy for others. Narcissism is a great way to show what kind of person you are and is present in a lot of people, but really and truly, narcissism is a very dangerous and scary path to be on. The character Arthur Fleck from the movie The Joker is an example of a psychopath as well as a narcissist. In the movie, you see that he struggles with a lot of mental battles, but even when it comes to women, he doesn't reciprocate that these feelings that he feels aren't be reciprocated back towards him, and instead, he fabricates this emotional relationship with a woman he doesn't even talk to. Joker has a constant need to be praised, imagining himself on stage being praised by others. When he's at the end of the film, when he goes on to that talk show, he believes that he's this great being, that he's giving presence to this audience. He's on his favorite talk show host's show, but he feels like he's the guy. He tells people that he killed those three people on the subway, and he's proud of it. Even though he knows what he did was wrong, he's not. He doesn't. He really and truly believes that what he's doing is the right thing, and that the world needs a better place, and is gonna be a better place with him in it and him doing what he has to do. Aspects of the Dark Triad are a scary thought when you really look into it. And to go further more into detail, a lot of people portray aspects of the Dark Triad or pseudo aspects of the Dark Triad. Certain human beings find themselves manipulating their friends, which goes to their ties of Machiavellianism, being able to manipulate others with any means necessary, except they're not psychopaths who don't feel any emotions, and they do feel guilty sometimes. But apparently, narcissism is something that's very clear in society, and many people are narcissists. They don't realize what they're doing and what they're judging people on are things that they do as well, that they idolize and put them pedestalize themselves onto this position. So the dark triad is a very scary thought, and there are people who are a part of the dark triad, but it's such a small percentage. But realize that even in your own life, the dark triad is present in aspects that you don't even realize, and it's a crazy but scary world and a crazy but scary thought. So be careful. And this is my presentation on the dark triad.